But the end of slavery was not the end of the struggle. It was the beginning of a new, complicated chapter. The period of Reconstruction that followed offered a brief, hopeful glimpse of a more equal society. Black men gained the right to vote and hold political office, and there were efforts to build schools and create opportunities. However, this progress was met with a violent and swift backlash. What followed was the era of Jim Crow. Across the American South, a new system of racial segregation was legally enforced. Separate but equal was the doctrine, but the reality was anything but. Black people were systematically denied the right to vote, segregated into underfunded schools and public facilities, and subjected to constant terror and violence by groups like the Ku Klux Klan. This system of segregation wasn't just in the South. Discriminatory practices in housing, employment, and policing were widespread across the entire country. Despite living under this shadow of oppression, Black communities thrived and built their own institutions. They established churches, businesses, and historically Black colleges and universities, or HBCUs, creating vibrant cultural and intellectual hubs. The Harlem Renaissance in the 1920s, for example, was an incredible explosion of Black art, music, and literature that had a profound impact on American culture as a whole. But as we've seen time and time again, changing laws doesn't instantly change hearts and minds, nor does it erase the deep economic and social inequalities that were built over centuries. From the late 20th century to today, the conversation has shifted to address these more systemic issues. We're talking about disparities in the justice system, education, and healthcare. The Black Lives Matter movement, which emerged in the last decade, has powerfully brought the issue of police brutality. There have always been instances of collaboration, solidarity, and shared humanity. From the white allies who joined the abolitionist and civil rights movements to the cross-cultural connections we see in music, sports, and art today, the story is not one-dimensional. Hip-hop, for example, a genre born from Black and brown communities in the Bronx, is now a global phenomenon, embraced and contributed to by people of all races. So, where does this history leave us today? It leaves us with a complex inheritance. We live in a world that is still grappling with the legacies of slavery, colonialism, and segregation. The disparities we see are not accidental. They are the direct result of historical policies and social structures. Understanding this history is not about assigning guilt or blame. It's about recognition. It's about acknowledging the truth of the past so we can better understand the present and build a more just and equitable future. It requires us to listen to each other's experiences with empathy, to challenge our own biases, and to be willing to have uncomfortable conversations. This history is part of all of our stories, no matter our background. It shaped our countries, our cities, and even our families. By learning it, we empower ourselves to become active participants in the next chapter of this ongoing story, a chapter we hope will be defined by greater understanding, healing, and genuine equality for all. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through such a significant topic. If you found this video informative, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more deep dives into history and culture. Drop a comment below with your thoughts, and let's continue the conversation respectfully. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.